I obviously don't keep up with the online drama nearly as much as you, Tom, but through you, Brandon, I think just you and Brandon, I saw like a week ago that some guy made a video bullying our boy, our main man, Wendigoon.
He did,
right?
Yeah.
Wendigoon is a horror conspiracy theorist YouTuber with several million subscribers, has a dark past with deep ties to far-right extremism. Wendigoon is very publicly friends with TurkeyTom. They have been seen together on multiple occasions, and I've seen online mentions that Tom was either at his wedding or at the very least was invited.
Was it just Wendigoon or like...
It was more slanderous, but yeah, it was it was funny. It's a bunch of people you guys have had on. I mean, it was me, it was Brandon, it was I don't know if Mudahar's been on the show, but he was included in there.
No.
Wendigoon was like the main subject, though. It was basically it was this like bread tuber, which for those in the audience who don't know, basically means that he's a socialist YouTuber. He made a video called "Conservative Horror Movies," and the last 40 minutes of it or so was dedicated to trying to explain how Wendigoon is a virulent right-wing racist.
If you're not aware, Wendigoon is a horror conspiracy theorist YouTuber with several million subscribers that, as you will hopefully come to see, should not be seen as the wholesome, southern-friendly dad persona that he has publicly constructed around himself in the past several years. And that, like many people who talk about being Christians as much as he does, has a dark past with deep ties to far-right extremism.
And there was a lot of association tying in there. A large part of it was like, here he is with Donut Operator. Donut Operator is a cop, which means he's a fascist bootlicker who defends the state.
Wendigoon is publicly friends with Donut Operator, and even retweeted a photograph of the two of them hugging. Donut Operator is a gun-crazed, very far-right YouTuber with 4 million subscribers. His content is very pro-state, pro-cop, pro-gun, and pro-death to people who don't share his beliefs propaganda. For example, one of his videos is titled, "Predator Takes Shotgun to the Face."
Yes.
For someone who supposedly is so very anti-government, Wendigoon seems very comfortable with a man who makes his living worshipping violence committed by the state. And the only thing that one could reasonably gather from this picture of them hugging is that he too is a fascist bootlicker himself.
And the funny thing is, like, the examples he used were really funny. So
Shout out
first of all, yeah, so for Donut, he was like, he made this disgusting video where he showed a pedophile getting his head blown off. And like everybody in the audience is obviously like, that doesn't seem like that bad of a thing. And the funniest thing is he uses this absolutely hilarious thumbnail that Donut used, which says head removal on it with a picture of the pedophile and like the cop holding like a shotgun in his face. So there was that. He also did just a lot of poor research. He was like, TurkeyTom was accused of saying the N-word. And like, accused is putting it very lightly. I said it on YouTube like not that long ago when I was playing Fortnite. I lost Fortnite. I fucking, it just came out. I was angry.
He was mad. He got shot. Yeah, give him the fucking break.
I got second place. I was pissed the fuck off. I can't think of a better word.
You should have said it more.
Yeah, I should have. But so there was that. He also said that Wendigoon, because he wears a Hawaiian shirt, he's a Boogaloo boy, which is like a domestic terrorist group. And he literally said in the video, he was like, Wendigoon is partially the cause of right-wing domestic terrorism in the United States.
We could talk about his past and supposedly being a founding member in an online conspiracy theory group that, according to him, snowballed out of control into being a white supremacist neo-Nazi organization called the Boogaloo Boys. In 2020, they killed several police officers in a drive-by shooting in Oakland, hoping that black people would be blamed for the violence, in an attempt to create racial tension.
People.
Damn, I didn't know he was so influential.
What?
I had the same.
That's the thing you don't know. He has a lot of high praise for him.
I thought he was making like lore videos about fucking forest monsters and cryptids. Yeah,
that's what I thought too. But
those are all dog whistles, clearly.
He called Brandon a gun tuber. He said he was a gun tuber. He said Oompaville was a gun obsessed YouTuber.
He is friends with Oompaville, a gun obsessed content creator.
It was funny. It was like in his move to divide everyone, he kind of brought them all together.
Gun tuber an insult? I thought that was like a category on YouTube.
To him, it's an insult, but Brandon is just not a gun tuber, so it just kind of showed that he.
Oh, okay.
He was
well, a lot comes along with gun tuber. Like a gun tuber is a white right-wing conservative 99% of the time.
Oh, okay. To me, gun tuber was like gamer. Like FPSRussia wasn't political at all, but
I mean, you could say gamer too, and you would find that boils it down to mostly some white, nerdy neckbeard dudes.
So I think everybody.
I think a guy who like just does videos about guns, and Brandon has done like one video about guns, which is when he and I went down to San Antonio to hang out with Brandon Herrera, who was called out in the video.
Wendigoon is publicly friends with Brandon Herrera, who who has made jokes that implied that he was sympathetic with public shooters who killed leftists. I've also seen people insinuate that Herrera was with Wendigoon in the days of being part of the Boogaloo movement, but I cannot find substantial proof on if this is true or not. But I've seen several comments saying this, so online it is at least culturally believed to be true.
Grand Thumb was called out in the video because Grand Thumb made a tweet saying that like open relationships are degenerate, and that was like a very detestable thing in this guy's view. But basically the point of the video was to say that Wendigoon should not be allowed. He said in public, he shouldn't be allowed in public, and he shouldn't be allowed to make YouTube videos about horror movies or cryptids. He also said that because his name is Wendigoon, Wendigoon is hearkening back to the Wendigo, which it is, but he said that's offensive to Native Americans.
Then of course there is his username. To the Algonquin people, the Wendigo is a negative spiritual symbol. He has attempted to deflect from criticism over the use of the name by saying that his grandfather was Native American. But I personally have to look at it from the hypothetical perspective, where say I had a black or mixed grandfather in this situation, and black people were telling me that I was doing something that was racist or offensive to them. I would then listen to what they were saying instead of claiming that I had the right to do it because I had some melanin in me. Especially if I were more or less raised within a primarily white cultural area like the Appalachian Mountains are. And also on top of that, just, frequently associated myself with white supremacists.
What a fat
shit.
It was hilarious to see after the video, a bunch of Native Americans were like, fuck you, don't fucking talk about me, keep my name out of your mouth.
It's not very nice to call that.
It's not nice. It's not nice.
Yeah, it will probably hurt his feelings.
Yeah, after
this guy
it,
sucks and I don't like him.
That's true. Brandon, I think he tweeted at him. He was like, "You're a low testosterone soy boy," and the guy was like, "Why are you making homophobic comments about me?" And it's like, I didn't even know you were gay, but Jesus, I guess that's part of it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a very bad.
Why did that guy hear low
research.
T and immediately think gay? That seems a little.
That's what I'm saying. There was another thing, like one of the funniest parts of the video was somebody made a YouTuber gay sex chart that a lot of people were put on Twitter, and Wendigoon was put on it as like a bottom, and he was like, Wendigoon replied to it. He was like, "Why'd you do this to me?" And the guy's like, "This is clear evidence that a cis white male is being homophobic because cis white men perceive bottoms as disgusting." And it was like, Jesus Christ. So it was a pretty bad video.
This guy's a provocateur who's bad at his fucking job and has no sense of humor, it sounds like.
It does seems that way. Yeah.
I just want to laugh at things.
So to him, like everyone to the right of him, and he's a socialist, anyone to the right of him is a Nazi. People making videos about Wendigos in the forest.
Yes.
This is a tweet from Brandon Buckingham showing a picture of the guy who was ripping on Wendigoon and him. This self-righteous bread tuber thinks if you are friends with internet historian, donut operator, shoe on head, Oompaville, Mudahar, Grand Thumb, TurkeyTom, Brandon Herrera, or myself, then you are a bad person.
He pretty much looks exactly how you would expect. I'll say that.
Yeah.
What's a bread tuber?
A bread tuber is like a socialist YouTuber.
Like
I can't remember.
Lines?
Like I don't think it's Breadlines. I think it's some other thing, but
it's gotta be Breadlines. Come on.
They say it's some book or something that references something about bread and the rich or something.
Them and their books.
Man,
this guy looks like he reads.
For sure.
This guy reads Age of Consent laws.
Oh, he does. He reads them well. But there were so many videos made about him in the wake of it because he called out so many people that there was like tier lists made of like how good the videos about him in particular were, or like how good the thumbnails were. So it was it brought everyone together. Really, it did bring everyone together.
That's good.
Everybody got to come together to shit on this guy collectively.
That's nice.
And,
a little bit of
probably what
Christmas
he wanted.
spirit.
It is what he was just trying to make us better friends, I think, and now we are.
Is this guy's video like? Does he get a ton of views, or not even like he's not even a huge guy?
He deleted it like a day or two after, but he had 400,000 subscribers. But the motive
is so dumb.
He didn't even stand by his lies.
No, he took it down right away. But then he was like, "Well, the execution was bad, but I think my heart was in the right place," is what he said about it, which is just.
Oh, did he delete it because he felt like it was inaccurate?
He deleted it, I think, because he was getting shit. He said he felt like he was in the right, but he got some of the information wrong. But the only thing I think he apologized for was calling Brandon a gun tuber directly. I think that's the only thing he said. But the video is, you can kind of get a peer into his psychology. I hate using the like, oh, well, this guy is this way, so he can't make arguments. But in the video itself, he opens the Wendigoon part by talking about how he's rich, therefore he shouldn't be allowed to have an opinion on media. And earlier in the video, he's talking about how he's struggling to pay rent because his YouTube videos don't get views.
It was a month last year where I only made $500 in ad revenue. I can't live off that.
And the reason why his videos aren't getting views is because
include
he made a video. Well, that's a great question. Why include it? Well, he's been coping for a long time because of this video he made. So there's a movie you guys probably know, The Hills Have Eyes, right? About like cannibals live in the hills. And this guy got a lot of shit for a video he made in which he said that the cannibals in the hills are an allegory for Black people or Native Americans. And the white people that are like being chased around by them are like colonizers and settlers that are moving into their territory. This was this is like a real thing. He said, like, he's like, this is what the movie director meant.
This is a bad film review. This is my least favorite kind of YouTube video.
Yeah,
I think it's
actual fucking retard.
He's reading into the literature. You guys don't know what you're talking about, okay? Frankly, I've heard of a lot of Black cannibals in the United States, so I think it's completely accurate.
Maybe
but
he is. Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
comparing Black people to a inbred racist, I think radioactive rape family of cannibals. Maybe
aren't all the
torturers.
bad guys white in Hills Have Eyes? I've only seen it, I think, once or twice.
They're
years
mutated ill folk in this family that rape and murder and maybe eat. Maybe I don't know. I don't remember if they're cannibals or not.
It's certainly not the most progressive stance to take that they're actually an allegory for Black people or Native Americans. But
okay,
yeah.
so this guy starts with his ideology and then backwards engineers all media he consumes to comport to that.
Avatar's right there, dude. What are you doing?
Yeah, this guy, this guy looks like a fucking idiot in his Hawaiian shirt. He's wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Well, he's wearing it because he's doing it as parody. So in the video itself, he's like, it's actually disrespectful for me to say the word Wendigo out loud, but I have to say it here for the purpose of research purposes, which is crazy. It's just a crazy thing to say. Like, I thought like the N-word was like the word that people would say you can't say out loud, but the word Wendigo, like Wendigo, like that is a crazy thing to say. There's a lot of other shit. The video is filled with gold. At one point he says everyone in Appalachia, like where Wendigoon is from, should be assumed to be racist until proven otherwise.
He lives in East Tennessee. It is about as white as you could possibly get. Deep Appalachia is very white country, and for the most part, is exceptionally racist. Genuinely in this part of the country, you have to assume that any white person you meet is racist unless they show you otherwise.
All right, well, he
see
might
that
have a
on
little
his
prejudice. Look, you can't get everything wrong. All right,
He says that.
Wait. Actually, this guy's winning me over. He's pretty cool.
Oh, he got you? Okay. You guys are all on board with that. You guys are the ones.
We've been to Appalachia.
No, I'm Team Appalachia. Those people are victims. They get no money from the Fed, and they're sitting there trying to make ends meet through their moonshine operation.
Victims of subpar dental care.
Entrepreneurial spirit.
I remember driving my Middle Eastern friend through Cherokee, North Carolina, and we drove past the Confederate store. I don't know if you've ever been to Cherokee, North Carolina, but you'll recognize the Confederate
store.
Absolutely. It is a store bedazzled with the Confederacy. Okay. Interior and exterior is nothing, but they have like the open market. They have Confederate flag dream catchers in that bitch. They have nice? Yeah, they're so nice. Okay. They keep dreams of Black people away.
Okay. Martin Luther King is not
just like slavery.
Dream there.
Mary Jo Susan, I just had the scariest dream. We had a Black president.
Again. It's not real. It's not real. Go back to bed, honey.
Like they're flying so many Confederate flags. I don't care if you want to fly one. I'll tell you what I really don't like is the upside down American flag thing. I don't like them doing anything to I don't like when people wear the American flag. I don't like when you turn it upside down. I don't like when you put that fascist blue stripe through the middle. Leave it alone. Is it Susan B. Anthony? She got it right the first fucking time. All right. I mean, we add more stars as time goes on, obviously, but that's just that's like in the UFC when you get another fucking ruby on your belt every time you defend your title. Mm-hmm. I like this. I think.
What's the Betsy Ross flag look like? Is that with just 13 stars?
I don't know.
Have you guys
Betsy Ross? What does Susan B. Anthony do?
I don't know, but I think she made the one that another history lady.
The Republicans adopted the Betsy Ross flag for some period of time, and
there's the one that's like the American flag, but where the stars are, there's like a big white swastika. That's a pretty fire one, you know. That's some new lore.
that was huge for one decade, a century ago.
Yeah, they say America.
It's like Susan B. Anthony. Yeah, it's just Betsy Ross. Susan B. Anthony was just like, she was a suffragette. She was there.
Ooh, I do not like her.
Yeah, taking that. By the way, if you look at a picture of her, you'll see fucking why. My God.
Okay, well, I'm team fucking what was her name? Betsy Ross.
Betsy Ross. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the
Is she the
flag
one that made
sewer.
the flag? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what she did after making that beautiful flag?
She
her
shut the
husband
fuck
dinner.
up like a
Kept
good wife.
it to herself. And do you like my flag I made, sweetheart? It's fine. Dinner's not ready yet. And then
Wow.
this
Christ.
bitch shows up a
Who is
century
the-
and a half
who is the
later and goes,
cross-dresser? I don't
That's
recognize
Susan
her.
B. Anthony.
Susan, that's a girl.
We put that lady on a coin.
"No,
She has
I would never
she has a
spend
good
that coin."
jawline.
That is a masculine woman, dude. Like if you look at her
Mhm.
from like get rid of the eyes and put a man's haircut on her, and like that's just a dude.
Yeah,
Dude.
She's been mewing a lot. Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
Dude,
her haircut
Zach,
now
slow
kinda
down.
looks
I can
like,
only get so erect.
she kind of got that hair of the berries and cream.
She's big into
Starburst
jazzercise. Oh my
commercial.
God. Look at that
Look
fucking
at that.
jaw.
Wow.
Look at that, built like a linebacker. This bitch.
Dude, if she'd be UFC champion if she existed today.
Yeah,
She looks like,
I want-
she looks like
I
Brady
want to vote.
Chocolate.
Where? No, get over it.
Zach, see if this lady it might have been a man. If there's any theories about that, or if it did like she ever bear children? You know, was she married to a gentleman, like, or was she like single her
There
whole
is
life
no
or something?
way she was married. Let's see. Wait, why the fuck is this?
It looks
National
like a man.
Women's History Museum.
I saw that this conservative lady, I
Lots
suppose,
of
made an,
inventions in there.
Lots of inventions. It's the same style of invention list as the George Washington Carver one we looked at last week.